Hey guys, welcome to the Burning Oil Gaming channel. We are going to be playing a game, a visual novel called, and sorry if I'm saying this wrong, Katawa Shoujo. I'm doing this because you guys really enjoyed Doki Doki Lit Club, and I know there's not really another visual novel out like Doki Doki, but you guys still enjoyed it, so I thought I would do more. So if you have any other recommendations for like other visual novels to do, where I can go through, yeah, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Now I know Katawa Shoujo, it has it had, like Doki Doki, it has some disturbing scenes. So if you you know, are triggered by these kind of things, and when I tell you that like what the title is translated to roughly, you understand why. Apparently Katawa Shoujo stands for disabled girls or crippled girls. I looked up on Wiki, so I expect this to be quite a tearjerker, but also I have no idea what's happening. You know, I have no idea. I haven't looked, other than that I haven't looked into what it's about. I know it's about 5 girls and a guy, but that's about it. But yeah, this will be a new series we'll be doing. If I can make it, we're doing it every day until we finish the game. But yeah, let's get straight back into it. Well, let's get straight into it. Start. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. Who says deciduous trees? It's such a weird thing to put. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in the cold. Hisao. Who's Hisao? Is that us? Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. It's cute. Awanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes? I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. My Doki Doki is pounding. Now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Well, don't do that, boy. You need that. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Awanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? Hisao? I reached up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Is he having a heart attack? Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. His chest? He's literally got a heart attack from being asked out? The world around me, the canopy of rare branches, the dull winter sky. Iwanaka running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanaka screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. You asshole! You did... God damn it. I mean, he's a kid. I guess. Having a heart attack because you got asked out. God damn it. Beep. Okay, it's doing the beeping. I thought I was going to have to do the beeping. Four Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. If you guys know how it's meant to be said, by the way, let me know. Inspiration, writer. Oh, that is nice animation. Writing, Anonymous and all those people. Sorry. Editing, Kagami, Lost Tarot, Silent Cook. So this is fan-made? Music, Blue123, Nicole Amafi. Art, Gebi Tara, Cami Fish, and Pimmy. Good art, though. Moeki, Rames, and Rabel. Climatic, Doomfest, and Ujovi. Mike Inel. Delta, Raid, Ujovi again. Engineering, Delta. Okay, we're getting into other. Sorry, I thought we were still into artists. Production, Corporal Crud, Suriko, sorry. I'm guessing I survived. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Yeah. Oh my goodness. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Yeah. They thought I had that when I was a kid. I have an extra heartbeat every now and then, apparently. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Yeah, the thing is, when things like this happen, it's always the people around you that suffer more than you do. You suffer the physical pain, but I'd already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell a house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, cards. But then the visitors soon dwindled and all get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. No, you see, teachers do that to teach kids to care, to have passion about someone. So it's not a bad thing. Like, turning it into a class project is not a bad thing. They put their time and their effort into it, right, to try and show that they do care. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. Ever. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. That must feel terrible. Like when I had pneumonia when I was a kid, and fortunately I was in hospital. I almost died. I was in hospital for about 3 months, I think it was. and I was constantly visited by the same few doctors, like, so I always knew their faces, and it was a children's doctor at the hospital as well. I mean, this guy seems to be like a teenager, maybe? I'm not sure how old he is. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, though it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was, but other times all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would just start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist does. He takes his time sorting his papers and is setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hisao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but I smile a little, back at him. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Jesus, heparin. I used to care for someone who'd just take that. Clinical depression. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications? What? Contraindications? I've never heard of that word before, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I tried to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attending to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day? I'm afraid this is the best we can do for you at this point. However, new medications are always being developed. I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I'd spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Oh, that was the dad saying that. Whoops. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows is ignored. We all understand your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes away from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence is it's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. There's nothing wrong with being disabled. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't... Oh, that's his dad again. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students, they're pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is I know now it's futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice, I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school? What are those even like? As much as I tried to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake just to resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Okay. Oh. Act 1, Life Expectancy. Keep hydrated. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. It's a pretty gate though. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so, he's not wrong. Red bricks, black wrought iron and grey plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but it couldn't really. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered it through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents have taken my stuff to the dorms and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway, going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my head, but it makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming colour. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Whoa. You must be Nikki? Nakai. So you are, excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mutu. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that neither is firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what it's like waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Why? Why? Do I have to? Of course not. That's why I asked. Right. Let's go then. My heart is pounding my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third corridor is marked as a classroom for class 3-3. Mutu opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point in worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Hello. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. She's cute. It's pretty spacious. And sorry you can't see this. You can't see this person over here by cameras. I'm sure we'll meet them later. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over around the in-between desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames, simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then, I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. What, who? Oh my god, look at her, she's adorable. So you can't see him yet. He'll come into view in a second. There he is. Oh my goodness. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class, while she's just like blankly staring. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. I think a girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses and goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. Okay. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl on the first row who has only one hand. Oh, it's her. I cringe a little but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. After the applause, there is a brief silence that nobody seems to want to be responsible for breaking. The teacher soon realizes that he should probably say something. He opens up with some unintelligible noise, shuts up as he loses his momentum, and then starts introducing me. Nobody seems to be too interested. Maybe I should have said yes to the self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the blackboard. I do that and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. Oh, makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. Sorry about the accent, by the way. I just thought I'd try. That's good. You can work on Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh, right. Hakamichi's right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Oh my god, it's a cute pink-headed girl. She calls out her name. The cute, bubbly-looking girl with pink, bright hair and gold eyes waves around at me. I take a seat right next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. She-chan. Oh my god, she's adorable too. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Yeah, she's deaf. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people and who better to explain things to you. I can see why you're a little confused, right? But I understand why would you think I was She-chan? She-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth to her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, right? Aren't you? Well, She-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there. He wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Misha looks at me with a weird expression, then continues. We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later. Maybe I should have introduced myself after all. I shouldn't have introduced myself after all. Anything would have given a better first impression than the teacher's drone and fumbling with my name. We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon, He-chan, right? He-chan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say out loud? This is a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how... It fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan. Wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. She-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so that if there is anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you had time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with a hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks. That was pretty helpful, actually. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school, either. Always. Even if it's a trip to a convenience store. Really, She-chan. Learn about where you're going? Guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even though I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. Why did he even give her a dialogue box? She can't talk. And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Oh, she didn't like that. Okay, that's maybe too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep. Shizune is fine. Oh, okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially after Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. I don't like this Comic Sans font. It's like putting me off. Well, she seems like that, just less so, I guess. Oh. Huh? Oh, right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Oh my god, those transitions. Still, we finish it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. Can I save? I didn't even know if I could. Right. We need to... Yeah, this is we're right on time. So, this has been episode 1 of Katawa Shoujo, or Disabled Girls. I don't want to call it that. It sounds so weird. No idea where it's going to head. I'm sorry if the accent's kind of throwing you off. I'm going to try and get better at them. Okay, this is kind of a little exercise for me as well it is for you. But yeah, guys, this has been episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me some feedback if you like it or not. Do that usual business, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. And I will see you tomorrow for episode 2 of Katawa Shoujo. Bye everybody. I was out.